Mm. Sorry, I didn't want to be rude, and I just hit the mic. How's it going, dudes? I don't think this is crooked. I mean, I don't think it's straight. How about now? Better? Better. Alright, sure. Okay. Oh, God, I gotta, get in the energy again. Jesus, it's been a couple days and a half since I filmed. How's it going? It's been a while for me, not for you. This is another this weekend. I figured I'd do a small update. Yes, I shaved. I'm sticking with it for now. I don't know. I went with killing a whole list and having a really long chin, but it just didn't really work for me. So I just shaved it down. I think it looks pretty. It looks all right. I don't know. Do I look like a 30-year-old weirdo with a beard? Yes. Anyway, let's look at what I got. So I mentioned in previous that I'd gotten the Criterion for the Hard Day's Night plus the Get Back thing and whatever stuff for Dad. So I got stuff like that, and also we got an imprint. So we can start with the imprint. We got I Married a Monster from Outer Space. It actually came in a lot earlier than I expected because it came in from Amazon. This has an exclusive audio commentary by film critics Barry Forshaw and Kim Newman, as well as theatrical trailer, photo gallery, and a 1080 presentation of the film. I love when they started it with 1080 presentation of the film. No shit, it's a Blu-ray. I mean, why I don't know why you'd have to write that down. Obviously, this is the reprinted version, so it doesn't come with the slip cover, which I know I hate, but I have now all of the original releases, the first 7 to 8 releases. What was When Worlds Collide? So I've got the first 5 standard editions, and then 6 and 7 I've got in sleeves. I don't care enough to buy all the rest of them. I just kind of buy it as I go. You know me, the imprint. It's like a cheaper collection than Criterion, but these are limited edition because they're all in 2,500 units. Then they're in 1,500. Now they're in 1,000 units. It's just it's kind of chaotic. So I kind of just go as it goes. But even something I got Danger Diabolic the other week, and that was a standard edition, and that I didn't even know that had existed as a cover version. I never saw the version with the sleeve. So yeah. That's alright. As a new release from Via Vision, which seems to be today's trend, Get Back, the concert, not the documentary, the Paul McCartney concert. We got this for Dad. Well, my brother got it for Dad for his birthday, so we figured why not, my older brother Sam didn't know what to get for Dad. He's like, what the I was like, hey, do you know what you're getting for Dad for his birthday? He's like, no, I don't know yet. He wanted to get him a VB cologne pack. VB, the Victorian Bitter. They have a, healthcare pack. You get the face cleansers and you can trimmers and cologne and bullshit. It's really a bad idea. We got the Mum and Dad got the cologne for Noah as a joke last year for Christmas. That was pretty funny because Noah wears cologne. I don't know why. But yeah, so I pointed out to Sam that this was available. It had just come out. And Dad likes the Beatles. He likes Paul McCartney. He's probably followed every single Beatle since their departure from the Beatles. And it's got quite a good selection of stuff. So yeah, I figured that would be a good thing. Comes in a sleeve, which is really nice. It was also $20 because I went out to buy it and Sam paid me back. Just because it was easy that way. But of course, the creme de la creme, I have shown the outside of it before. The Beatles A Hard Day's Night, which is the standard, it's the Blu-ray version with the DVDs. It's not the 4K because the 4K was either really expensive or basically out of print. You got artwork on the top, you got artwork on the bottom, you got artwork on you got titles and everything on the side and back. It's a 4K restoration, get all the details. It's a pretty nice, chunky looking Criterion. There wasn't too much damage to it. There was, obviously, I could tell that there was a little cut in the base there, which is fine. It's at the back, not too noticeable. A little dent on the back, not too noticeable. Notice this one, which was pretty yikes. Clearly it had been slammed in from the top. So you got a bit of a Just going to focus on me. Yeah, got a bit of a line there, which is a bit disappointing. Dad obviously doesn't mind. Nice artwork too. And, you know, on the inside, you can't, or can you tell? You can see how there are kind of faces in there? Yeah, it's like a wall of people, like a crowd that goes all the way around. It doesn't really touch the top or bottom, but it does go around the back and inside, so you could, like, open this up and you get, like, all these pictures of people, which is pretty cool. I'll take out the booklet first and show that off in a second. But you get your widespread, you know, Hard Day's Night. Dad put the sticker there. He's really good at taking off these stickers. It was already a little worn, like as you can see there's some smudgings. But yeah, it's the director approved dual format edition. You got a picture of the Beatles there. You got the Hard Day's Night title. You got DVD disc 1 and DVD disc 2, which I believe is special features. And the Blu-ray, I apologise for that. Dad's watching the Blu-ray, so he's currently got it in the player. I don't know if he finished watching the film. I don't really want to take it out because I don't think he's finished watching it. But yeah, the Blu-ray slot's in there, so I apologise for the artwork. The artwork's like identical to this. It just says Blu-ray on it. I think it's in a slightly different colour, but yeah. But of course you do get the artwork underneath, which is really nice. Of course, I can mention Dad did start watching it last night. It's not a very long film. It's like, what, 80-odd minutes? Yeah, it's 87 minutes. I don't know why he didn't take it out of the player. He might have just turned off the TV when he was finished watching it. I don't know. It's Region A. The DVDs are Region 1. I figured that was the best way to do it, rather than buying the 4K as well. It kind of benefited because outside of people saying the 4K UHD doesn't look as much better than the Blu-ray, not to mention all the errors of the discs. I didn't want to have to put myself through that. But also, we could just play it on the one player, because, like, the Region 3 player either in here or out there. So, just made it easier than chucking, I gotta put in the 4K disc, and then I gotta put in the DVDs on a different player, and all this kind of bullshit. Get a booklet. Doesn't have anything on the back, but it does have a hefty amount of detail. Got images, all this detail. It's actually a really nice book. It's the main reason that I bought the whole set, because you could get most of these special features as it was. You've also got color images as well, which is pretty rare. And they're all really nicely produced as well. I don't think there's any... Oh, there's some more. But yeah, so this was like the main reason I got this set rather than like the Umbrella version, because the Umbrella version basically had all the same special features because it was obviously the same transfer. So it's really long. Dad sat through and read the whole entire book. And yeah, then we got another color picture at the back. And so he watched it last night, and I was there maybe watching it for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It looked really goddamn good. Like, this is like in contrast to the Get Back documentary, which I had mentioned in a previous This Weekend, because I'd gotten that for him for Father's Day, and it looked atrocious. And so he's put this on and he's watching it, and it just looks incredible. It looks absolutely stunning. It sounds really good as well, like, because obviously it's still like half a musical, so there was like a part where maybe it's, I can't remember what the song was, but they jump into a song while they're talking. They're doing some prep at where they're planning to film, and John's talking to Ringo, who has complained about something. Like, I don't know if he was jokingly complaining about something. Maybe it was Ringo. Oh, maybe it was George. I'm pretty sure it was Ringo. Yeah, I think it was, because then George and Paul were like standing off to the side and like talking about how he was complaining. And so it cuts back to George, and so he starts singing, and clearly they've cut the music in, like, oh, here's the professional recording of the sound and whatever, and he's singing, and like he's going like, la-di-la-di-la, like as if like he's miming it, but also jokingly, because he's like, oh, like I'm aware that this is the part where my music's going to come in, but I don't actually have to sing here, I can just mime it, but I can also be a goof, because they're goofs. It's great. Dad also mentioned that he read through the book, and they were saying how when they did the audio stuff, it was like how Dad was saying, because Dad's really big into the Beatles as it is, and when it comes to them remastering their albums, for like the 50th anniversaries and stuff, they will like go through all the different songs and tracks and like pick apart all these little things just to remix them differently. And so he was saying how they were doing that for the Revolver, they're doing that for this year, so I don't know if that's coming out this year or if they're working on it this year. It's one of the two. And I think they've already worked on it. It's meant to come out sometime this year. And so Dad was saying how, like, he's already listened to some tracks from it, and he's like, they're the best he's ever heard of them, especially, like, I think Taxman was one of them. And so he was saying how it's the same kind of style that they did, where, you know, what Peter Jackson did for, like, the audio for the Get Back documentary. That's what they've done for the albums, where they're able to, like, delineate between the sounds and stuff. So, yeah, it's like they put a lot of fucking legwork into this stuff. And honestly, it looks and sounds fantastic. I would definitely suggest getting the Criterion. If you are in Australia, you want to get a cheaper version, then sure, get the Umbrella version. But realistically, if you've got a Region A player, or Region 3 player, I would definitely suggest getting the Criterion. I can't say anything about the Get Back concert because Dad hasn't watched that yet, and obviously it was only last night that we got it in, so I can't compare and contrast, but at the same time, it's also a live concert. You're either going to win or lose on it. I've only got a few live concerts on Blu-ray. I'm not a particular fan of any of them except for the Talking Heads one. Stop Making Sense, because it's just a visually iconic concert. But I've seen a bunch of concerts on Blu-ray, including Dad had initially intended to buy me. Luckily, I'd seen it and complained to Mum, saying, who the fuck would buy this on concert? It was like the Pink Trip About Love concert. So Mum and Dad realised, oh, he's not going to like that. Let's buy him something else for his birthday. And I realised that pretty quickly on, so I was like, yeah, good. I don't want a fucking concert, like, because I don't like the idea of getting a concert on Blu-ray. It doesn't make any sense to me. But buying it for Dad makes a lot of sense because he likes watching that. He will listen to live albums, like concert albums that are recorded at a concert and then put on an album. I hate that. I genuinely hate that unless it's a really good recording, and I've heard very few like that. Maybe The Who was one where they had a song where it's clearly a concert with an audience, but the way the mix is done, you can't even hear the crowd during the song and how they play it, and I actually really like that mix of the song. But yeah, again, there's the Talking Heads one, the second site release, which is really great, and I can only imagine that the Get Back one's probably pretty good as well. But I've seen there's a U2 360 tour. I'd seen that in person, seen it on Blu-ray as well. And when I say seeing it on Blu-ray, I don't mean I've like sat down and completely watched these, like, except for the Talking Heads one, because it's like I've only seen parts of Talking Heads currently because Dad actually watched that one. But I'm not going to sit down and watch all of these except for the Talking Head ones because I bought that one so I could watch it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it fully yet. So that's on me. But I have watched like the first 5 to 10 minutes and it looks pretty great. So yeah. As an additional element, I fixed the theatre room up. You probably can't tell so much because I do have some Blu-rays still lying about. So the shelf hasn't really changed much. I've obviously got just a few stacks of imprint stuff here and there. The DVD section's in a bit disarray, Jesus. Because, like, I had gone through a whole weekend and fixed it up and then realised that, oh, I don't actually, we're missing Blu-ray DVDs here, or I had the Gene Kelly one, I put one underneath Gene, one underneath Kelly, and now I've got these Beatles ones, and I probably will put them in a Blu-ray selection. I don't know, because we've got a Beatles slot here, which you can't see. Let me just show you so you can get some idea. So yeah, we've got a Beatles slot here, and obviously you've got the DVD anthology set, the DVD TV show cartoon, a concert something, I don't know what the hell is that. Oh, you got the mystery tour, you got a Japanese live thing, All Together Now, the documentary 8 Days a Week, which is the Blu-ray plus DVD set, luckily in the same size as a Blu-ray DVD set. Hard Day's Night, obviously, we now have the Criterion, so I might put the Criterion in here, just to keep it with all the Beatles stuff, but the only other Beatles stuff we have is the Blu-ray of the Yellow Submarine, which is all the way up here. So realistically, I could probably put that back down here and mix the two together, even though the size is different, but it keeps all the Beatles stuff in one spot. I don't know about Get Back, though, if I would put that under Paul McCartney, if I would put that under, I mean, I'd probably put it under Paul McCartney anyway, but maybe I'll put it under Get Back. But obviously then there's the Beatles documentary set, which is also called Get Back, so I'd probably put that here as well. Maybe I'll put the Paul McCartney with it too, because it's mostly Beatles songs. I don't know. I'll ask Dad about that, get his impression, because he's the one who's going to watch it. I don't want him to be looking 12 different fucking spots for one thing. So I got to fix up that. But I've obviously cleaned up the rest of the room. For starters, I'm going to go handheld. So, pardoning, of course, the console mess we have down there. I don't really know what we're going to do about that. And the fan. Summer's coming up, so I'm going to need that. But as you can see, there's a whole spot missing for where the shelf used to be. I have yet to buy the new TV. I'm getting to that. It'll happen one day. But I've redesigned how the figures are displayed, just because this is a good spot for them currently, even though usually we've got a clothes rack in the way, but once summer comes along, I won't have to worry about that. Steelbooks galore. These are all the steelbooks that I would pin, and some cases like the Enter the Void and Dead and Buried and stuff, where they're all just regular 4K Blu-ray sets or whatever. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm okay with people touching and opening up and watching and whatever. So that's buried in the corner. It's like the kind of prestigious stuff, buried in the corner. So walking over here, as you can tell, there are still spots like that where I haven't put them in their spots yet. It's fine, I'm getting there. I've put in the middle shelf. This one used to be at the back wall, now it's at the front. It changes and varies. For display, the top shelf is as it is. The bottom shelf, the Frankenstein and Mummy sets for second sight, are currently there. Same as how the Witch and Dog Soldiers are there. They all usually sit on top of Mad Men, but I'm currently watching Mad Men, so it's annoying to have to move them all the time, so I'm just kind of moving them to the side. Is a good reason, good visual display of I've still got plenty of room. Sopranos, Harry Potter, and all that. None of that has really changed too much in terms of sets. All those are the same. All those are the same. Down here, I've moved these sets. Now you've got Drive with Hellraiser, Miyazaki, and Friday the 13th. And nothing has changed over there. You've still got the Thing, the Pop Vinyl, and the Columbo and stuff. At the edge, you've got Godzilla. I've actually introduced my Showa era one that I got in Japan. Obviously, you've got Biollante. This is 2000, I think. Godzilla 2000, maybe. I used to have King Kong here, but he doesn't really fit now because there's so much stuff on here, so I've kind of put it as a little mini Lego thing. They're called Loz or something. Some Japanese stuff and a movie cinema at the very far back there with Godzilla in front, which is cool. Over here, we've got the Alien stuff. I will be filming an unboxing for that as well soon. This is pretty simple. I've just put all my NECA figures over here. You've got Alien, you've got Ripley facing off against the Geiger version of the Xenomorph. You've got the bloody version of the Xenomorph attacking Brett. He's also got his tracker in his hand. You've got Kane, who's got a face hugger on his face, and Lambert, who's scared shitless. I don't really know how better to pose these two, because otherwise they'll just be facing each other, and I'm I kind of want to look at them. Ripley's the only one who's different, but you can, walk into the room, or, from this angle or whatever, and you can see Ripley there. So, yeah, and then you've got Ash and Parker at the back there. And you've got the Alien set in the middle, because it looks pretty fucking nice. All this stuff is basically still the same. Haunted Mansion figures on display. I've put the Thing dude here because he kept falling over because he was over there. Now he's up here next to Kruger because they're both prone to falling. I can just put him next to the Saturn V. Makes it easier. And then you got your Batman stuff. 1989, 1969. The Mezco Batman, which I've got he's currently in the I've just beat up Superman pose, I guess. He falls over a few times too, so I kind of like to keep him in the one pose. I had him in a flying kicking pose, but I kind of prefer this. And of course, as you've probably noticed, I've attached Cooper to the wall. His head isn't. It's got a sticky thing behind it, but he usually just pops forward a little, which I think is fine, because he's basically stuck completely to it. There's these things you can get. Here's a good example. This is an older version where it's Velcro on one side, and that would attach to Velcro, and you can just kind of pull it off. This is obviously the Clockwork Orange poster. Currently off the wall, don't know where I'm going to put it. I could put it there, but if we have people over and they sit here, they could destroy it, and I don't really want that to happen. It used to be here, now Cooper's here. We've nailed up the creature poster finally. I've moved those two down. I was actually, because they've got the Velcro on too, I was able to peel them off and place them down. I may have torn off a bit of the wall, but it's fine. It's just wallpaper. But yeah, so Cooper's all good and happy here. As you can see, he looks fine. I've re-put up the Apocalypse Now poster because it kept falling off. I've had to put on new sticky things underneath, but they're now double-sided sticky. So it's like Cooper's, the back panel, I've put that in the garage. It had double-sided tape. This one is different, where it's like just a sticky thing that you can kind of pull and it will just eventually peel off the wall rather than double-sided tape, which would basically destroy it. And I've got it stuck here and along here, which I realize has now come off the wall. That's not great. I think his leg has also come off the wall. Yeah, his leg has also come off. But because it's got the shelf there, that's fine. I just got to keep an eye on it because this shouldn't be coming off the wall. Maybe I should have positioned it a bit lower because it's, yeah, I don't know. He's fine for now. He's got some sticky stuff behind him, but he's also got like a cardboard block at the back of his neck, whereas the rest of him is just flat. So it keeps his face more perched up, which is probably a bad idea, but it allowed me to get the poster back in without damaging Cooper as much. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't expect him to like fall off or anything, and even if he does, he's not going to fucking keel over. He'll just be kind of stuck there. And I can just move that table out of the way and replaster him or whatever. So, yeah, and he's got the double-sided tape on the inside, so that kind of keeps him stuck to the wall as well, to some degree. But during the hotter months, it's going to be tricky. I don't know if I want to put anything behind his head, because I don't want it to stick to the poster. But I do want to keep something behind his neck to keep him stuck to the wall. But it's a issue in its own right. I should probably just get something to stick behind his shoulder, so like both shoulders are kind of stuck down. But I don't... Oh, we do have more. But there's nothing thick enough to hold that. Maybe I could. I'll see. I'll think about it. We'll get there. To continue the wall, so that's the whole kit and caboodle. I've put those two, McCartney and John, who used to be over there, behind where Cooper's head is now. Move them over here, just made it easier. I don't know, Dad didn't mind me putting it on top of the Beatles poster. It's his stuff anyway. And I've put posters over here. So this is from the... I'll open up the door a little to get some light in. This is from the Everything Blue set for Shaun of the Dead, the 4K set. So I've put that up here because it's small enough. These are from the the Studio Canal sets for... Actually, that's the Universal, but that's the Studio Canal matte. Ferguson prints for The Thing and Prince of Darkness. So they go there pretty well. I've been wanting to put them up for ages. I have put away the Fog poster for now, because honestly, I have nowhere to put it. And also, we've nailed this to the wall as well, the signed picture of... God, Indigo's snoring. The signed picture of Adrian Brody. But, yeah, that's the current look of the room. Obviously, nothing's really changed on the shelf. It still is what it is. I have actually, behind the VHS, buried the box for the Alien set for the Sideshow thing, so just so I don't have to destroy it or throw it out, because I didn't want to do that either way. Yeah, that's basically the whole thing for now. There wasn't... I was going to probably do a theatre room tour video, but I'm like... I've just kind of changed a few things. Obviously, moved around the shelves, putting Cooper onto the wall, which was both mine and Mum's idea. I didn't initially realise that he was peeling off the back of his finger when we put it in the garage when my cousins were over. Mum noted, what if you just take it off and put him on the wall? But she wanted him to be on the other side of the wall where he used to be. But then I'd have to move a lot more posters, and I was not up for that task. Not to mention, they're better posters, like the Terminator 2 and Space Odyssey 1. I can see them now. They've got Lego and figurines in the way, but still, they look nice. Yeah, so I just got to keep an eye on Cooper, make sure he doesn't peel off the wall at any point. But for the most part, I think it works out pretty well. It's creepy as hell now, because he's just kind of stuck to the wall, and he's just constantly staring at me. I guess it was different when I had the ability to move him. Now, he might move himself. I mean, at the same time, he's not meant to, but you know what I mean. I mean, he could still peel off the wall, but he shouldn't. So, yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'll keep this, by the way. It's just a demo for now. So, that's all for now. I'm going to go sneeze, and I'll see you later. Achoo.